Hi, my name's Jackie from Embrace the Season. Today I'm going to be showing you how I use some recycled items in my garden, and you can start thinking about things that you can use in your garden. Instead of throwing them away, you can use them to grow some fruits and vegetables. So today we're going to use this carton, which is an old cream cracker container, and the crackers were eaten a long time ago, but I saved the container and I've drilled a lot of holes in the bottom for drainage. I'm going to fill it up with some soil, and I'm just using all-purpose potting soil. You need to fill it to about halfway. A bit more maybe. Unfortunately, garden soil won't really do the job, because we need good nutrients in our soil to help the seeds germinate. There we go. So we've got our soil in there. I'm going to pat it down a little bit just to firm it down, and then let's have a look at the seeds that we've got to sow today. So as I said, these ones are going to be salad today, and I've got some nasturtiums, which are edible. You can eat the petals, you can eat the leaves, and the seeds as well. They can be pickled, the seeds, they're delicious, a bit peppery. So we're going to plant some nasturtium. Lettuce. This is a mixture of different types of lettuce, and we're going to be picking these as leaves rather than letting them grow to full-size lettuce. And so we're going to be sowing them regularly to make sure that we can keep a constant flow of new seedlings. And it's called cut and come again, the way that we do this. It's just so that you can have a constant supply of lettuce leaves. I've got some radish. So these radishes, there's lots of different types of radishes, but these ones have little globes, and you can see they're all different colours, so they look quite pretty as well when they're grown. These ones are called bright lights. And then finally, got some spring onions, Lisbon, white Lisbon. And you can see that the seeds aren't terribly expensive. And a pack of seeds, let's have a look how many are in this pack. 450 seeds, so that's going to last you a while, isn't it? Let's get sowing then, shall we? I'm going to start off with my nasturtium seeds, just a few. Oh, but before I do that, I need to water the soil. I said to you earlier that I like using recycled items in my garden, and this is a recycled item. Can you see what it is? One of my milk cartons, and I punctured some holes in the top, and it gives a nice flow of water, just gentle. It means I don't need to be lugging a heavy watering can around. So we need a nice bit of water on there to moisten up the soil, because our seeds are going to need water and warmth to germinate. So these are the nasturtium seeds. You can see they've got quite a hard shell, so that needs to soften up in the water. I'm going to plant them over in this corner. Let me move it. So we're just going to pop them into the soil, press them down firmly, and that's our nasturtiums done. Lovely. What shall we put in next? Maybe some spring onions. open up the packet. So you can see that the spring onion seeds are quite different. All the seeds look different. You wouldn't think those were going to all be spring onions, would you? So where should we put those then? Maybe over in this corner. They're a bit difficult because you can't see those when they're sprinkled. But just sprinkle them finely over the seed, over the soil rather, and that'll... And they're all in there even though you can't see them. What next? Let's have some radishes, shall we? Some Bright Lights radishes. So those are loose in the packet. There we go. I'm not going to sow all of those, but it's much easier to sow if you pinch out the seeds and sprinkle them than if you try and shape them with the packet, I find. So let's take a pinch. We'll put those over this corner. Put a few in there. Again, just gently firm them down. You can see. Okay, and that's the radishes done. Finally, we're going to use, the lettuce. There we go. Now, as I said, these lettuce, we're going to pick those as leaves. And because there's lots of different types of lettuce in there, you've got lots of different types of leaves, lots of different coloured seeds. And they are quite tiny, so we're going to sprinkle those very carefully over my last corner of the pot. Now each of these seeds, or these different types of seeds, they will take probably about 14, a couple of weeks. But if you've got them somewhere that's warm, they could come up a bit quicker. So now I just need to pop some soil over the top. I'm going to give them a quick water again with my, but this one will be very gentle because we don't want to wash the seeds away. Now hopefully you're thinking about all the different sorts of seeds that you could start planting. You could put herbs in there, you could put chives, you could put any kind of edible leaves. Beetroot's also an edible leaf. So although you wouldn't have much room to grow big beetroots in there, you could eat the leaves. So let's put some soil over the top, not too much, just enough to cover them over. Whoops, sorry, I knocked the camera. Ooh. There we go. And last little bit. Lovely. And I'm going to gently firm that down because those new seedlings have got to push their way through that. Now if you wanted to, you could always make a little label and pop it in the corner so you knew what was what, but I think you'll know when they start to come up. You'll be able to see that they're different. And that is your salad pot all done and finished. All you need to do now is find somewhere nice and warm, a nice windowsill somewhere for it to sit and grow. I like to cover mine over with some clear plastic or put them in a plastic bag to keep them, to keep them moist and keep them warm. A little bit more water over the top there. And that will probably check it. I'd check it in about, maybe if we have a nice few warm days, then I would probably check it in about 3 or 4 days to see whether it's drying out. You don't want these seeds to dry out because they really do need that moisture to break those those hard shells open and start to germinate. So we're going to try and keep those moist. Now I've got a greenhouse, so I'm going to put mine in the greenhouse, but you can put yours on a nice sunny windowsill. Stand them on a tray because as you can see mine is leaking, so all those holes I drilled for drainage, they're all working. So stand it on a tray maybe, and something plastic, clear plastic over the top so the light can get in and keep it nice and warm, like a little greenhouse. And there you go. So I hope that your seeds will start to germinate soon, and that you will soon be eating some very healthy, tasty, delicious salad. Thank you, and I'll be back in a little while to show you how I make a bird feeder out of a plastic bottle. Bye for now. Bye for now.